Andrew Nordine.
David Song.
Dave, nice to meet you. I'm a manager at Pricewaterhouse. We're obviously here for your tax interview. You know, you're interested in becoming, see from your resume, you're interested here in becoming an associate in tax, which is nice. So let me first start by asking you to tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, I'm just going to cover a little bit of my background. I'm not originally from the States. I was born in the States, but I lived in Mexico most of my life. I went there until like high school, and then I came to USC for college. I came to USC because I was looking at accounting programs. I was looking to become an accountant, so that's why I decided to come to California. Also because of nice weather, obviously, and you know, that's how I ended up at USC. I'm an accounting major. I'm involved in a lot of different organizations, just KSA, KBSO, some other cultural ones, as well as Beta Alpha Psi. And I'm interested in doing tax.
So you said you came to SC because you knew you were interested in accounting. You knew SC's got such a reputable program, but how did you know accounting was what I wanted to do? I mean, how did you know that right away? And what was kind of your thought process there?
So first, I guess it started in high school, like, you know, high school senior. I decided to start thinking about possible career options, possible career paths. So as I was thinking about this, our senior year we had a course where we could decide either do something like arts and letters or like business side or like engineering. So I thought business would interest me, like something in the business side. So I went in, we had a class that covered finance, accounting, marketing, organizational behavior, all that stuff. So from there, I thought like accounting was the most interesting one of them, and also the most useful one. So it kind of fit also like my thought process, like very rational, very organized, very structural kind of mentality that I have. So that's why I chose accounting.
That's interesting, because I tell you, there's not too many high school seniors who can say they knew that they wanted to go into accounting. And so that's pretty cool that you've had such a awareness of what you want to do right from the get-go. So I've got a couple more questions we wanted to ask you here. So go ahead and share, you know, however you feel. You don't necessarily need to go into elaborate detail, but you know, just want to get a feel of what you're thinking here. First one is, give me an example of using your personal network of friends and acquaintances to help you accomplish a task.
Well, there was this one occasion when I was in KSA.
Where's KSA?
KSA is Korean Student Association. Okay. Is a little bit of a social organization. Mm-hmm. We also do some community service for local Korean community, and as well as just making a network of Korean students at USC. So while being the vice president last year, we had a lot of events, and then one of these events was a fundraiser. So through some contacts that I've gotten through KSA, I contacted a business owner, this local business, a Korean local pizza place called Mr. Pizza. So we contacted them, and then we worked together with them in order to throw out a promotion for USC students, where we would sell their coupons for them, and then at the same time take a little bit part of the profits while also advertising for them in all our events. So that's how, you know, through our personal network, we managed to reap a mutual benefit for both of us. So
that's cool. That's very cool. All right, so the next question here is kind of geared towards leadership. And so I'd like you to describe a situation when you had to influence another student or a peer to cooperate. And what did you say?
Well, there's a lot of things going on like that, especially group projects, I think.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Especially when it's a smaller group, you play a bigger part in the group, so consensus is very necessary in order to, you know, get through these projects. So for this one project, we had to decide on it was for marketing. We had to decide what kind of product we want to advertise. So you know, my friend wanted to do this certain service for parties around USC, but then we thought that was not really what our focus was going to be like. We didn't really find that profitable, so I had to try to convince him in order, like, I just told him the rationale that why we wanted to do this other bike rental system that we had thought of like first. So like I had to convince him, I had to give him like very good reasons why we wanted to do this, and then just take him step by step over why this would be a better choice for the project.
Okay. Another question that we really need to touch on here is why tax?
Interesting question. I didn't know I wanted to do tax right when I got to USC, obviously, because I didn't really know much about accounting in the first place. So as I was interviewing, as I was going through all these recruiting process, I went to a summer leadership program for PwC. I got to know a lot of professionals, and I talked to them about audit, tax advisory, and all these different service lines. So what interested me the most about tax was like it's very kind of like problem-based approach to whatever issue we have in tax. So I think of it as somehow as a puzzle that we try to put together. Like they have an issue, but there's no like there's not only one solution to the problem. So I like to see it as a puzzle, and I like just taking it bit by bit, like apart, and putting it together and finding the best solution, like the best alternative for this person in order for them to like save more money in like tax transactions. So
okay, that's the question here. How did you balance your schoolwork here at SC with extracurricular activities, and how did you kind of manage, you know, the stress and stuff that was involved? I know how, you know, involved you were in all those various groups, so if you could touch on that.
So I mean, it was hard at first. I'm not gonna lie. Freshman year, sophomore year was very stressful because I was joining all these different clubs, and I had to find time for each one of them.
Yeah.
And one thing I realized is that there's not always time for every single thing. Like, even though I would like to go to every single thing, there are certain times when there's conflicts, and then I have to commit to doing one or the other thing. So I feel that time management was very important. I learned how to stop wasting time. Like procrastination is just the worst thing when you're in these kind of situations. So also just being very organized, planning in advance, writing down everything you have to do in an agenda is very helpful for these kind of situations. You know when you have committed to something, and you can't like double commit to that same time spot. So it's very important to just talking to all these people that you know are involved in the like group projects or either the clubs or just school. You have to just kind of manage your priorities, just see what's more important and try to reschedule if something takes priority over the other. So and trying to accommodate everything. It's
managing expectations.
Yeah, exactly. So just letting them know, I'm busy with this other project, can we do this other time? Is it okay, or is it really urgent, or do you want me to reschedule with the other party? So,
and that's the kind of thing that is going to be happening in the firm day by day. You're going to have issues that arise like this. I can tell you from the client I've been at right now at Toyota, I tell you, with all these recalls going on, it was the audit team had called us up, and we had to get out there within 2 days and get our work done, get our tax memo out by the end of the week. And so I tell you, that things like that are going to come up, and it's all about managing expectations and really setting your priorities and finding a way to get the job done, because problem solving is really what we're all about. And if you can manage people, you can really have a lot of success in this firm. And I've seen that you have definitely a lot of experience with that at SC. So that's good to hear. So enough of these behavioral-based interview questions. I want to know a little bit more about you. So if you could just give, I know you're a great candidate. If you could just give me one reason, what sums you up? I want to go talk to my other managers, the other partners, and I really want to fight for you and get you into this firm. If you could give me one reason why we should bring you in, and why David Song?
I mean, I guess one of the main reasons I'm a very good team player.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very committed. I'm very responsible. So that would be the main reason why you would want me to want me to be hired. Since I'm very committed to the team and like everything, I'm very responsible. I will see as my own responsibility that the team goes forward, that things get done. Like I will pick up the slack that others leave. So like I love working together with other people. I love making more friends. I love meeting new people. So I mean that comes together with this kind of like teamwork in order to promote like a good team environment, trying to, you know, balance out, you know, if there's any conflict, trying to make both parties see like each other's reason and trying to like find like a common ground, like, you know, that is why.
All right. Now, kind of before we finish up the interview here, I wanted to ask you if you had any questions for me.
Oh, of course. What kind of diversity or other like outside work programs does PwC have, like community service programs or? You know,
Very good
groups?
question. I think one of the things that PwC has really been stressing over the last few years is social responsibility, giving back to the community. And it's one of those things that we do it to promote the image of the firm, but it's one of those things that you can really feel good about doing. And I can tell you, within the financial services tax team, which is what I'm a part of, we recently all went out to the LA Food Bank, got together, and you know, it's part of the camaraderie aspect. You know, getting everyone together and going on there and doing something good for the community. And it's just something, you know, you really do feel good about doing it afterward. And so, you know, it's kind of an opportunity for people to connect, you know, give back. And I'd say that we've got community service projects going on weekly. You know, you've got, just recently we had the AIDS walk. So I tell you, there's always things going on. The firm now is actually given, I believe it's 12 hours for community service time per year to take during work. You know, take the day off, take a couple days off and just, you know, do some community service. So that's one of those things that we're really trying to get back to. I'll tell you another program, not necessarily community service, but really, you know, we know the firm's all about teamwork, team orientation and everything. So I think it's important to have camaraderie and really
definitely
work on building and sustaining that. And so just this past Friday night, we had our firm-wide casino night. And so it was an opportunity for the tax team, the entire office, the audit, the advisory group, a good time to see a lot of the people that you knew from school, a lot of your classmates, and you know, just great times for everyone to get together and connect. And you know, I think that's one of the things that really sets PwC apart, is that we really stress and we really try to work on building those relationships with our teams, because I believe that the firm that can best manage teamwork and manage people is the firm that's going to succeed the most in the marketplace. And that's what we're really aiming to do. So, now any more questions?
I don't know, something, how do you manage work-life balance?
Work-life balance is tough. I can tell you, this is a busy season.
Yeah.
So it's expected that we're going to work hard. And, you know, I'll be honest, I did have to pull a few, you know, past the midnight nights, you know, a couple nights past 1 a.m. during busy season, but that's to be expected. You know, you got to find what works for you. I'd say that for me, it can involve, you know, taking some time out in the morning to go to the gym. So I've been going to the gym about 3 times a week, even if it's during busy season. It's one of those things. I do it for me. Making time to hang out with your family. I mean, you know, on your day off, make sure on your days off that you really take time to enjoy those days. You know, find ways that are going to make you happy, because that, you know, happy employee is, you know, that's what we're all about.
Definitely.
So, you know, I'd say that that's what it's about for me, is really trying to, you know, on my days off, really make the most of them, and then, you know, just enjoy them. So, well, I think that's all the time we got today. I really enjoyed this interview.
It's really nice meeting you.
And you will be hearing from me very soon.
All right, thank you for your time.